The CEO of OnlyFans, a site synonymous with basically porn, is tired of people considering the platform a porn site. Kelly Blair, the chief executive of OnlyFans, an online platform where sex workers, sports stars, and celebrities sell subscriptions for access to images and personalized content, a platform I'm considering joining. You know, it's a hard economy out there. It was founded by I'm kidding, sort of. It was founded by Tim Stokely and his father Guy in 2016, but sold 2 years later to Leonid Radvinsky, a Ukrainian-American entrepreneur and owner of porn sites. But OnlyFans is not one of them. Don't get it twisted. In an interview with Financial Times, when Blair was asked if she considered themselves a porn site, she parsed the following explanation. No. We're a site that hosts adult content, but we also host a variety of other content. And a lot of the people who create adult content also choose to create other content. So maybe yoga and naked yoga. I personally would consider naked yoga still in the porn category, and not hating on it, but just, calling a spade a spade. Sites that are for adults, she continued, should cater to all of grown-ups' interests. Lots of people who are over 18 like sex, but they also like comedy and sports and music. So it's about being able to cater to our audience base and to be able to provide opportunities for creators. And in OnlyFans' defense of that statement, they have started actually funding comedy specials and roasts and are yet to offer me one, but I would entertain it. I'm not a fan. I'm not against. Anyway, hit me up. DMs are open. We don't want to categorize people, she continued, so we don't. That's why we don't categorize our content either. Creators are able to create whatever content they choose to as long as it's within our terms of service. Let's just say those terms of service are very broad. Okay, there's not a lot of restrictions put on that one. As she spoke on the subject, she refused to use the term porn, citing the negative context that goes along with it. The word porn's been wrapped up in some of the negative things that were the case for the adult content industry, and we've done an awful lot to try and help adult content creators to have a safe space on the internet and be treated with respect. That's the reason why I don't tend to use the P word. I do respect that statement. However, Blair, the CEO, doesn't seem to even look at the analytics of her site. When asked about the proportion of people who don't produce adult content, she said, we don't categorize people because we treat everybody as being over 18 and because we moderate all the content we have, because we treat all content the same as regards to payment codes, etc. It's not important for us whether the content is adult content or Instagram Plus or horse racing or bike racing or combat sports. While she was saying that, she was doing nude yoga. Joke, not true, that is not true. It's understandable, by the way, that she wants, of course, people to see the larger picture of the site and not generalize them like I just did. Apologies. But she must know the majority of users do use the site still for adult content. According to Enterprise Apps Today, about 70% of its content is classified as not safe for work. But the platform also accommodates a broad spectrum of other content types, contributing to its position as one of the top 50 most visited websites worldwide, with over 320 million monthly visits in 2023. Why else was there an extreme backlash in 2021 when the platform tried to ban adult content? Call it what you will, porn, a Patreon equivalent, or a place for men to fill the empty void in their hearts. But just because it can be used as a porn site does not make it bad.
Now, to be fair, I watch OnlyFans for the articles. So
for the bike racing?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, where do I get bike racing? Oh, I know, OnlyFans.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I'm only a fan of bike racing. That's why I'm there. That's why I've been paying the subscription for that, honey.
The customer there.
I signed up because I just like an oscillating fan. I thought I'm a big fan of ceiling fans. I thought it was OnlyFans, and it was not.
Yeah, so I'm kind of impressed by that number, actually. Only 70% is adult content, 30% isn't adult content, then she's kind of right. Yeah, and although when she says, oh, I don't check the numbers, that's not true at all.
And she's not counting naked yoga as adult content.
Yeah, and it depends on how you count, right? And look, even for yoga and eating breakfast or whatever, it sounds benign, but those also sound like fetishes. Right? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, you think there aren't guys checking out yoga, right, for that purpose? And then, all those, we covered the story before, they're allowed on normal sites too, or non-adult sites too. Like, and then they got banned, I think, in some of the platforms, women eating bananas seductively, right? And then they got into, I'm smashing watermelons in my face, and et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, non-adult, check. If you say so, but at the same time,
sounds like a healthy breakfast to me.
But you know what? Who cares? I mean, own it. It's okay. Like if you want to promote that there's non-adult stuff, great. I totally get it. That's your job as CEO. God bless. And it turns out there are some. There are, and
it destigmatizes people that want to go there. And they're afraid to have that charge show up, and their wife sees the credit card bill or whatever.
Oh, Ben, no, but hold on.
I just gave you a great idea.
Yeah. I was joking about that before, but you're right, Ben. That's probably why she's doing the tour, because she's trying to spread the message. Not because she wants the bikers on OnlyFans, but she's doing that publicity tour to tell all the wives out there, oh no, you don't understand. People are eating Frosted Flakes. I mean, it's like, oh my Lucky Charms. You know what I'm saying? That when your husband's on there, it doesn't mean a thing. That's what this is about. You solved it.
But also strangely, I've been eating breakfast on Instagram Live for years, and nobody watches. And my hot neighbor, through the roof, eating breakfast. So I don't know.
Yeah, although at the end of a lot of the videos on OnlyFans, people do go, that's great.
It's a Tony the Tiger reference. I haven't heard one of those in a long time. Yeah, she wants to get the stink of porn off of the OnlyFans site, right? That's what's going on.
Yeah.
And there is and will always be, that.
You just triggered another thought. I think you guys solved this together. Because when you said this thing of porn, Mark, maybe like a lot of platforms are trying to diversify. So if they're only subscription like Netflix, they're trying to bring in ads. If they're only ads, they're trying to bring in subscription like YouTube did a couple of years ago. So since OnlyFans is mainly subscription revenue, they're probably trying to get advertisers on the OnlyFans. That's another reason why she's doing that.
Yes.
But that is the long plan, the longer plan.
But also, it just really is about shame and about not being pigeonholed in people's perceptions. It's like, let's say, talk about a random guy in his mid-40s that might, even want to subscribe to certain people's OnlyFans, and then people might think that they're subscribing for impure reasons. If it's a site where all kinds of content is hosted, that theoretical person, call him Benji, would feel free to then subscribe, and you could plausibly say, no, I just like following the life of this person. It's got nothing to do with a lot of times they're in lingerie on a bed. I don't even notice that. I look at the breakfast content, and it gives you a completely free window. I'm
I look at the breakfast content.
I love a good breakfast content theoretically.
Yeah.
Okay, and by the way, it's not inconceivable. I'm going to humor her line of thought here that, hey, you went and watched something that lasted a couple of minutes, and then you got a lot of free time, right? And then you're like, hey,
knocking around.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll watch them eating some Apple Jacks, and then
you watch gangbangs, you might enjoy croissants.
Applejack. Oh no!
Oh, there you go. Okay. There it is.
Yeah. Wow. There's something I read in one of the stories about OnlyFans. There's a shortening of an experience. I think it's a JOI, jack off experience, JOE. I was like, I don't even know these terms. Honey, I do not know these terms. Yeah. Okay, no, seriously, guys, that leads to the
That is not what JOI stands for.
Yeah, what is it? What is it?
I've heard from a dear friend, it's whatever, off air.
Oh, okay, all right. Wow. Apparently,
it's a Googleable thing. Or
yeah. It's a real thing. I read it in one of the articles. But anyways,
you kids with the jargon, it's great.
Yeah. By the way, I read it in one of the articles. One of the articles on OnlyFans.
Yeah, right. It's in the footnotes. Yeah.
Okay.
Pun intended.
Yeah. But seriously, we wouldn't need any of this if people would just stop obsessing over porn or adult content. Like, who cares? Who cares if someone's subscribed to OnlyFans? You're still judging people based on that? That's mental. And yes, even within a relationship, who cares? People have different outlets. If your partner does that every once in a while because they want to see something different, doesn't mean they don't like you. It doesn't mean they don't love you.
What's every once in a while, but Jack?
I mean, like a couple of times a day. Okay, what's the big deal?
During dinner.
Yeah. Look, the shame game is what we are so good at in this culture. Religion informs a lot of it, at least at the beginning, but it's then morphed into other stuff. So, but you're right. It's a shame game. It's just.
I think just the bigger issue, and it's mind-boggling and really speaks to supporting the arts and supporting sex workers, which I do not think should be shamed in any respect because it's something people want and need and they're fulfilling that need. But I just don't know how they economically compete. They really must be putting out great quality content when there is just limitless free porn on the internet. To be able to get people to subscribe, that is a member of the economy that really we got to salute.
Yeah, no, it's true. I thought the same thing in the beginning, but now I totally get it. Because if you watch long enough, no, wait. No, seriously.
I've heard.
I've heard, right. Seriously, what they explain is that it's for the personal contact. They don't mean contact, physical contact. It's the DMing, it's the messaging,
Sure.
it's the I say this, you do that. Oh, people love that. It's me. One of the stars that they were talking to, she gets up in the morning and responds to her fans. Before she goes to bed, she responds to her fans, and she orders them to do things. I think that's what the JIO or JOI thing is, right? Oh, I know what it is. It's let's John. There's a different name for John. Off instructions.
Correct.
Okay.
It's instruction or inspiration. I think it's instruction usually.
Yeah. Like, hey, you do this, and they love that because they know her. They can see her. And the thing is, she's not in person, so she seems like a star because she's on air.
Just as a reporter, you don't have to know what account name that is, do you?
But that is that's really
I'll send you this. No, I won't.
That's the connection that you're talking about. That the star does every morning, as you say. She'll say, "Oh, Dave in Indianapolis" or whatever. It's a weird relationship that they have.
Yeah.
But it's a real relationship in a sense.
Yeah.
It's just a virtual relationship.
It's a virtual relationship, and of course and it's a real job, and that's the hilarious thing. I mean, they got schedules, and in a sense, it's good because it normalizes it, right? But she gets up in the morning and she's got a to-do list. She's like, I got to get John to JOI, and then I got to move on to Jack, and what am I going to do? It's confusing. I tell Jack to Jack, and right. So, but that is their day. That is their day.
That's why she has to eat breakfast on camera. She has to work it into the business plan. Otherwise, she's not going to get that basic nutrition she needs, or he.
Yeah, by the way, they probably do that too. And that's, hey, look, this is me doing that, like the sexual
people
stuff.
pay to watch people sleep. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the money I'd like to get. I just want to make money while
You can serve up a solid number of hours.
I'm a
You
great
guys
sleeper.
have nailed this story so much, so we'll end on this.
Pun intended again.
Yeah. So, but you got to do this before, because we're going to say it on air and people are going to rush to trademark. Only sleep.
Only sleep.
Okay, yeah.
I like that.
And when you wake up, you don't text anyone.
That's right.
You go back to sleep because it's only sleep.
That's great.